Hello, good morning and welcome to Argyle Breakfast. We are back and we're back at home today, which is very exciting for a hopefully entertaining day of football, and it is great to have you with us. We have got loads coming up on the breakfast show for you this morning. So let's have a little look at what we've got. Some of the things for you include a local wildlife photographer, Aaron Barrett, joining us in the studio to talk about his work and, of course, his love of Argyle. We can't come on the breakfast show without talking about that. Paul McGregor, who played for both Argyle and today's opponents, Northampton Town, tells us some of his favourite Brian Clough stories. So loads to get through. We've just touched on the top of it really in the start of the show, because it is very much a jam-packed show for you today, and we're going to dive straight into it. If we open the shot up, you'll see the studio. It's not just me and Aaron here this morning, but I do have to say good morning, Aaron.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. But I must also say good morning to our other guest. Before I introduce you properly, I just got to give a little bit of context to everyone. So we are just under a month away from Christmas, as I'm sure you're already aware. Next week, we've got a whole host of festive activities taking place at Home Park. One of those events next Thursday is the annual Carol Concert. It's always a popular event, and this year it is sponsored by the 50/50 Lottery. And that is where our guest Ken Beale comes in. Because this is what you're involved in, the 50/50 Lottery, Senior Greens as well, of course, which we'll talk about. Thank you for being here, Ken. Looking resplendent in your green as well.
Try to impress.
Absolutely.
So before we go on to the event that's happening next week, for anyone maybe who hasn't been to Home Park in a while, or maybe we have some people who aren't aware of the 50/50 Lottery, what is it, please?
Well, the 50/50 Lottery works. We've got some sellers that sell the tickets, and they earn a percentage of selling the tickets. The committee, i.e. me, I'm the chairman of the lottery, and all the other members of the committee work voluntary. Mm-hmm. And once all the tickets get sold on a match day, I could give you just say a rough instance of how it would work.
Yep.
Say we took 4,200, I'm just chucking a figure. After expenses, time the sellers get paid and the bankers who check the money at half time. Say the expenses is £200, that leaves us with like 4,000.
Yep.
The prize could be a massive £2,000, which we have it a few times this season. The maximum limit is 2,500, and we've hit that a few times as well.
Oh, wow.
Especially last season, but when we start winning a few more games, I'm sure the prize money will go up to that. But we've had some good prizes this season, and then the other 2,000 goes into our bank account, and that gets distributed all around the stadium. After people got to send in a request, it was mainly set up for the youth department, but over the years we've supported the women's football. And what you're going to touch on in a minute, the Carol service. Mm-hmm. The youth, we've sponsored the buggy for the disabled people, for picking them up when they park, if they need a lift into the ground, which is a sensible piece of equipment. Yeah. Over the years, we've sponsored loads of things around the stadium, but obviously not the players, but it's any other areas around the stadium that need any funding.
So how long has 50/50 been running then here?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Cast your mind back.
The 50/50 started in 1997, I believe.
Yeah.
And founder members were John McNulty, who's still with the club, as you know, John. And Peter Hall, bless him. He was a legend over the years, obviously. Everybody loves Peter. And I've been the chairman, I think, from, you remember Gwen Rendell?
You think, yes, ringing a bell.
Gwen retired and then she passed away, and they just voted me in as chairman, and temporary, and I've been there, I think, 15 years ever since, so they can't get rid of me now.
So you must enjoy being part of this, and like you said, I suppose it's all of the different things that you're able to achieve through 50/50, not only giving out the prize money, but contributing to the club.
It's just great, you know. I think all the committee, they like I say, they work voluntary, and it's the love for the club. Yeah. And that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Do you have much communication with the Evergreen then? Because the Evergreen have a similar process, isn't it, where people donate each month and then they can distribute the funds to certain departments?
I usually chase them up to scrounge prizes if we can.
So when you're on the hunt for stuff,
don't miss a trick, you know. Yeah. I think the club last year, when we had the events around the stadium, they donated prizes for us,
Oh,
which was
lovely.
good.
Great.
And they all got claimed. And the thing is now, everything out with the publicity, Charlie announces it before the game, you know, buy your 50-50
Yes.
tickets. And the numbers are all on the big screen. And literally, throughout most of last season and all of this season, just about every prize has been claimed.
Oh, wow.
They've got 14 days to claim their prize. And if it doesn't get claimed, we give them a little bit of leeway, but then it can go back, especially if it's a meal voucher or something. We can use it again. Or a prize, which am I allowed to advertise them? Passotti usually donate a lot of prizes.
Welcome back. It's just gone 10:15 here on Argyle Breakfast this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, this week, Argyle launched a new partnership with Plymouth-based organisation Man Culture, aiming to shine a light on the reality of male violence against women and girls. Man Culture aims to enable culture change by being open and listening to the views and opinions of the men and boys in Plymouth, whilst challenging those behaviours that cause the fear and harm of male violence. And we're going to be joined by two members of Man Culture in just a minute. But before we hear from them, let's have a little look at what it's all about.
Every day things happen, and sometimes it feels like it's easier to look the other way.
And I offered to buy her a drink, and like, she gets right funny with me. And I'm like, what's going on? If she wasn't interested, she wouldn't have been dressed like that.
Football's on 4 goals.
Let us go first.
It's not about being perfect, it's about being present, about choosing to stand up when it matters.
No, that's not okay. It's not okay, mate, at all.
Hey, come on, football's for everyone, yeah?
It's on all of us, not just when it's easy, but when it counts.
A fantastic organisation and a really important message as well, to stand up and stand together. And joining us now is co-founder of Man Culture, Andy Hodges, and Scott Young, who is a member of the organisation. Thanks for coming into the studio this morning, guys. Nice to see you again. Man Culture then, Andy, we'll start with you. We watched that video there. That was the first time I'd seen it, actually. And what I found really interesting was being a woman and having had certain experiences, you really tackled some of the key areas, you know, like what it feels like to be a woman walking in the dark and have people behind you, and just met those small changes, like recognising not to be, you know, right behind you. It was really refreshing to see. But yeah, tell me about Man Culture, how it's come about, and why is it important to you?
So, tail end of 2021, we had obviously Bobby Ann McLeod, so it's 4 years since her tragic murder. And I was working in what we call domestic abuse and sexual violence arenas. And we're talking a lot around what is it women and girls are feeling unsafe about? Should we go out and speak to women and girls in the city, do this, that and the other? And what came clear as me as being one of the few male reps in that group was, actually, we need to speak to the men and boys about this as well. It's like 50% of the problem.
Yeah.
We need to get them involved and engage them. So yeah, I put my hand up and said, here's an idea, shall we look at doing this?
Yeah.
Which was really well supported by the group. And I reached out to Scott and Matt and said, look, here's an idea, to try and run with it. So the three of us got together and then brought in a load of other guys from different organisations and said, let's see if we can do something about it.
Yeah, and Scott, for yourself, welcome to the show as well.
Thank you very much.
You know, why was it important to you to get involved in helping to spread this message to other men and boys?
I think it's something we all sort of know about, but it's so ingrained in our culture and our society that we really normalised it, and it wasn't until it's like pointed out to me. So I ended up in, you could call it the right meeting or the wrong meetings. I was in meetings where women were talking about Vogue quite naturally, and I had to Google it because I'm like, what are we talking about here? And then as soon as the scales are removed from your eyes, you're like, right, okay, this is something that is so normalised that we don't do something about. So it just felt important to get involved, just to sort of just start calling in men to the conversation.
Loads of guests already on the show this morning and plenty more still to come. If you've been growing up and living in Plymouth, you'd probably think surely this is one of the best places to be a marine photographer, and that is exactly what our next guest is. I'm pleased to say Aaron Barrett joins us in the studio, and he has a passion for capturing water photography and videography as well. Thank you for being here, Aaron. What a cool...
very cool.
Right, we were looking at some of your photos before. Which did you get into first, photo or video?
Photo. That's probably my main thing. Yeah, the video sort of came a little bit later on, and I'm still learning that area. I think all areas you're still learning, but the photography is sort of my bread and butter.
Yeah, I mean, where did that passion then start for you? Have you always had the interest in the marine world, or have you been developing that as you've gone along?
Really, I'd say from surfing.
So you're a surfer.
I surf, and it was the surf photography in the water.
Yeah.
Was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I sort of got into that more hobbyist really to start with. That's sort of what started what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And from it sort of grew from there. Yeah.
I mean, that must be incredibly difficult. I've never. Actually, I tell a lie. I've surfed once in my life. I had a surfing lesson in Australia. Awful. Not the hobby, just me. To do that and then try and capture it as well, that must be incredibly difficult.
Yes.
So many moving parts.
It's difficult. Some people think surf photography is easy, but actually, when you're taking pictures of seriously shallow waves on reef, it's really hard, and you're in the worst spot. You're where the wave crashes onto a shallow reef. I actually cut my back open in the Canary Islands one time, which was not so good. But here you got one of them. This was actually the Canary Islands as well. That's cool. That's in England.
Cool,
that's in England. That's not far.
Wow,
that's about an hour away.
You're going to have to explain to me how this works, because you see pictures like this, you see videos like this around, and I cannot fathom how it is possible for you to be in the wave taking a photo of someone else surfing. Please, can you just talk me through how it all works?
So obviously you've got a professional camera, and then you've got a special housing, which is quite big actually. It's quite bulky.
Yeah.
This one comes from California. It's got a big glass element on the front.
Yeah.
And there's quite a lot going on to be able to keep the picture clear, because obviously water droplets and things like that, there's stuff you have to do to keep it clear. You've also swimming and you're negotiating.
Is it that kind of thing now?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. That was actually when we were photographing sharks out in Plymouth.
Wow.
But that is the housing that you use. And yeah, there's just a lot going on, and you just got to have your wits about you, because obviously you've got surfers coming at you.
And are you on a surfboard?
Fins. I'm not on a surfboard when I'm doing the photos, I'm swimming.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But you've got to make sure you're not getting hit by the surfers.
I do have a pretty ridiculous pink helmet, but that just shows people where I am, and also stops me from getting hit if something hits me at high speed, especially like a boat or something knocks you.
Right.
Then yeah, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't
it? Having been a press photographer in a previous life, I just can't. I mean, they're stunning.
That wave in particular it looks soft. That is actually a really heavy wave. It's called the Bubble in the Canary Islands. It's a really hard wave to surf. It's really hard to take photos on because that wave shifts.
Right.
And sometimes you're just in the wrong place. Like not long after this, I got dragged along the reef.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then you sort of have to swim back out and around. But it's when you've got that view though, it's something special, and it's amazing.
It's like time stood still, isn't it? In that
Yeah.
where you've just captured that moment.
Do you get a chance as you're taking them? Are you getting a chance to look back at them, or have you just got to wait until you're out and just hope that you've captured what you think you've?
No, I always have a bit of a preview. I'll put my face up to it, but you got to be careful because obviously waves are coming, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to have a quick look, check the focus was on and stuff like that. You don't have to. You can sort of wait till after, but I like to check them. And then you look up, there's a wave coming. Like you got to be careful because you're not looking at what's going on around you.
Yeah.
But It's interesting.
Yeah. And it's not just surfing. I mean, we have looked at some surfing, but like you said, sharks, tuna as well. Are there any moments that stand out to you in terms of maybe the wildlife element of photography?
Yeah. I mean, the tuna are a massive subject in Plymouth at the minute because they've made a huge comeback. Everyone's interested. Everyone wants to go fishing for them. Everyone wants to photograph them. They're hard to photograph. They move fast. You don't see them coming. They're under the surface. So you don't always know where to look. It's not like a bird that you're following or tracking, which is hard enough. These things you can't see until they come out of the water for that split second. You've got that split second to get that shot and focus it. It's hard. Like, I've spent hours and hours and hours and days to get, well, like that shot we just saw. It took me quite a while.
But for me, they've got two players that I've identified that they would have had to have done their homework on. And the first one is Dean Campbell. So Dean Campbell is a midfield player. The reason I've picked him is he's kind of like their fulcrum in their midfield.
Right.
And he goes a little bit under the radar. So he's renowned for, lots of chance creation, lots of assists and things like that. He might not be a prolific goal scorer, but he's got a wand of a left foot. He puts balls in dangerous areas. People might remember him from a few years ago scoring the winning goal for Stevenage at Aston Villa in the FA Cup.
Right.
So we know what qualities he brings, and if you can just nullify him in the central area of the park, then he will, he will be their springboard in the attack.
Yeah, I mean, if he's putting balls in like that,
terrific. Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Left footer. So if you can nullify his opportunity to get on the ball, and like cleverly said there, intensity, work rate, deny them spaces, deny them opportunities to get a foothold in the game, you stop a key threat for them.
Okay, so that's one person card marked.
Absolutely. Initially, like I said, I was going to go with Sam Hoskins, but he's unavailable. So I've gone with his partner as Ethan Wheatley. Now, he's 19 years old. He's on loan from Manchester United. So he's in England under 20. 3 goals, 2 assists. I believe he was at Walsall last year in League 2, but he would have been, 18, 19. So, I mean, for me, any young player who's scoring in the lower divisions like he is, and he's on loan from a big club like Manchester United, you know the lad's got pedigree, he's got quality, like he's a good size, he's a good ball carrier, he's got a really sweet strike, and he commits players, Erin, and what he's got really well is a directness to him. He'll want to run that back line really well, and he'll commit. He's won 2 penalties already this year for Northampton, so he's 19 years old. When we played Peterborough, I think early in the year, I think they had a lad on loan from Chelsea. So we know the qualities that the young players bring from their parent clubs.
And he's going to want to be making a name for himself, as like you said, scoring, delivering, so that, like you said, his parent clubs are going to start paying a little bit more attention.
Well, absolutely. And if I'm honest, I don't know whether Cleverly and the guys had done any recruitment on him. For me, he probably would have settled in well here. Yeah. Like a good person to bring in on loan. He looks like a player who can run in travel. He's athletic. So maybe they missed the boat there. I don't know. He might have gone completely under the radar, but for me, has good pedigree and need to be mindful of him.
Okay, Argyle then.
Well, yeah. So keeping with that end of the pitch, the first one we've gone with is Connor Hazard. So he's had 2. He's player of the match last week at Port Vale. He also had a clean sheet. He also had a clean sheet for the Republic of Northern Ireland, not the Republic. Sorry, Northern Ireland in the international break as well. Just settled back into it, and he's a bit of a stalwart now, isn't he? He's been here a few years, and he was really in good positions last weekend. We rode our luck a little bit, but I thought this was a good save. It was fairly routine at him, but keep it low. It was a greasy afternoon. This one, I think, either side of him might have troubled him, but thankfully on the day, it was this last kick of the game. He could have easily palmed that down, a little fumble, and they scramble an equaliser. Yeah. So I think it's good to see that we kept the clean sheet and knowing that your goalkeeper was in form as well. So if he has a good day today and can keep a clean sheet and keep the likes of Ethan Wheatley quiet, then we stand in good stead, hopefully, of going on to win the game. Yeah,
I mean, we've had Roman Lario on before talking about how important clean sheets are to you. Yeah. Not only on paper, but the mentality-wise as a goalkeeper, how you really want to keep doing that, because confidence grows, doesn't it, the more that you feel a bit more at ease in that position.
Yeah, and it's a collective as well. It's not just, being hopeful that the goalkeeper has a good game. If you can get the back line also becoming strong and resistant to, constant chances, then you start to build that belief that you're hard to breach, and then it kind of just snowballs from there. Yeah. So if we can keep a clean sheet, I'll be, highly likely that we're going to get the win.
Okay. And finally, last but not least.
Well, he's a constant in the Argyle TV analysis,
Here
in the
we
morning.
go.
So Lauren Talai, I can't pick anyone else. He's the person who's scoring all our goals, 8 goals, or maybe 9 in all competitions if you include the Virtue Trophy games as well. He's been involved, Darren, in 42% of the goals that we've scored. So
Wild,
basically,
isn't it?
near enough 50% of all the goals that we score, he is the man slotting them in the back of the net. And we know how good he is when he breaches that back line. We know how composed he is. He's arguably the form striker in the division.
Yeah.
You know, he's on a crest of a wave. He's settled into life at Argyle really well, considering the difficulties we've had in picking up results.
Yeah.
He's been the one positive where he's constantly scoring goals. And for me, Erin, it's the variety of goals he's scoring as well. He's scoring solo efforts, he's scoring tap-ins, he's scoring penalties. You know, and he's getting better week in, week out. His work ethic is outstanding. His work rate off the ball. I thought he put a tremendous shift in last week at Port Vale. And we know he's got a ferocious left foot. The other thing as well is he can actually supply. So
Yes.
it's not just all about goal scoring. He knows where his teammates are. And if he scores and we keep a clean sheet, obviously we win the game.
We win
so
the
that's what
game.
we're after
Yeah.
for today.
I've noticed as well the way he interacts with the crowd. Certainly on away games, he really goes and gives them the fan service that they deserve, as well as fans from a player.
Yeah.
Signings go, probably one of our most crucial.
Absolutely, and at this stage, you know, no more so in the fact that we need him. He loves scoring goals,
Yeah.
and it's the goals that win games.
We love him
we love him
scoring
scoring goals, and the fans will always get behind people that give everything.
How has it been for you? You were just saying off air the amount of miles you reckon you've clocked up over the last 6 weeks is...
Well, I didn't do the Mansfield game because I was away on holiday, but it was about 2,500 miles, I think somebody said, for the 6 successive away games. And yeah, it does seem an awful long time. I mean, you know, since you guys have been here and had a home match day to deal with, in all the long years I've covered Argyle, I can't ever really recall going 6 weeks without a home game. So it's lovely to see you back. And 6 of the next 9 are at home. So obviously an important part of the season we're going into now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flip side for us because we were saying we've got to try and remember what we actually do. It's so quiet here at Home Park when there's no actual football. We come in and do the breakfast show in the morning, of course, and it's quite a relaxed,
Very serene, isn't it?
serene atmosphere. Yeah, so a few people around looking at the pitch.
You
but
can have
for
all these
you,
people come in and spoiling your peace and quiet down.
Exactly, but then in the meantime, while we've been maxing and relaxing in the corner of Home Park, you've been up and down the country.
Yes, it was a bit chilly and grim and grey in Port Vale or in the Potteries, Burslem last Saturday. So that was a lunchtime kick-off, and a lunchtime kick-off next Saturday as well. So I think there's isn't there 3 or 4 more 12:30s coming between now and the end of January, something like that. So
they identify us as the team to watch, you know.
Obviously,
whether rightly or wrongly at this stage.
Yeah.
You talked about, you know, not quite having a run of away games like this, but a run of games like this in general, where, I mean, you'll tell me the exact number of seasons you have been Herald and Plymouth Live, Argyle, chief reporter correspondent.
Yes.
You know, where are we sitting in the grand scheme of all you have witnessed with Argyle?
I think Argyle generally have been a sort of top end of League One club over the time that I've watched them.
Yeah.
That feels like if Argyle are doing okay, top end of the 3rd Division English football feels historically and in the time I've been here so when you're in the Championship, you are, you know, doing really well.
It's a bit spicy.
And then when you're down where we are now and the division below, then you feel that Argyle are underperforming.
Yeah.
So 29 seasons, it tells me that we, at the very least, Argyle need to be top end of League One to be saying that they're doing well. So clearly underperforming at the moment, and we're all desperately hoping that things improve soon.